Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez.
There were tense moments yesterday when police say a domestic violence dispute in Newington led to a standoff in Stamford between police, a father, and his 2 children.
And after more than 7 hours, officers finally negotiated the safe return of the children to their mother and arrested the husband.
Fox 61's Juvenile Johnson is in New Britain where the man appeared in court.
A mother and her children were reunited after a domestic violence dispute spanned half the state. The man police say was responsible for the chase was arrested and appeared before a judge for the first time.
At approximately 12:10 in the afternoon, the Newington Police Department received a 911 call from a female victim who stated her husband, after threatening self-harm, choked her and then left the scene with the children.
Sergeant Matthew D'Esposito says John Layson Romero was the man involved in the argument Sunday afternoon that elevated into a domestic dispute. According to police, Romero's wife attempted to leave with their children, but Romero overpowered her. They say he took control of her vehicle and left. Newington police issued an alert for the car. Stamford police located it later in the afternoon.
Stamford Police Department were able to stop the vehicle in the area of Canal Street and North Street. And make contact with the vehicle. However, due to the lack of cooperation from Mr. Layson Romero, it resulted in a standoff at the vehicle that resulted in the response of their SWAT team and crisis negotiators.
Officials said the standoff lasted more than 7 hours until finally they were able to get the children to safety and arrest Romero. Newington police say they do not know yet where Romero was headed or what he planned to do with the children.
Well, it's a big relief for everybody involved, and it's a very stressful situation for everybody involved. Incidents involving children typically hit home to first responders a little more. Sometimes it triggers if they have their children of their own. So it was a big relief to have such a successful resolution to the situation.
Prosecutors say Romero works as a correctional officer. They say he is a veteran who suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. New Britain Judge Julie Dewey issued a protective order against Romero so that he doesn't make contact with his wife and their children. Now, Romero faces several charges in Newington, and Stamford police say they plan to file separate charges related to the later pursuit and standoff. He's currently being held on $2 million bond. In New Britain, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
4 men from Norwalk have been charged in a violent kidnapping and carjacking in Bridgeport. Prosecutors say the group followed a man to a restaurant last summer, then ambushed him when he got back into his car. One suspect reportedly held a gun to the victim's head while others stole cash, jewelry, and credit cards before taking off with his Mercedes. A federal grand jury has now indicted the men on kidnapping, carjacking, and firearms charges. If convicted, some of them face up to life in prison.
Well, police are investigating racist graffiti found at Northwest Catholic High School in West Hartford. Officers say someone damaged the track and soccer nets and left racial slurs in the dirt and spray painted on property. The school president calls it an inhumane act meant to hurt students where they should always feel safe. Police are asking anyone with information to call them or use the anonymous tip line. The Hartford athletic soccer team is calling for an investigation after an incident during a game Saturday night. The team claims a player on the visiting team used a racial slur during the match, and the athletic players and coaches walked off the field. Fox 61's Joe Monti is at Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford with more on what happened.
Saturday's match between Hartford Athletic and the Pittsburgh Riverhound soccer team was abandoned after a Hartford player alleges that a Pittsburgh player used racially offensive language on the field. Now the Hartford team wants the Pittsburgh team investigated by the league. The incident happened at the very end of the match. A person at the game recounted what he saw happen during Saturday's match. This morning we also received video from another fan who had front row seats at the game. You can see the altercation in the video. We're told that Hartford athletic player Marlon Hurston was unhappy with the call made by a ref. Hurston was apparently arguing with the ref about what happened when a Pittsburgh player walked by. Hurston then became visibly upset at the player, which led to more fighting and ultimately a discussion amongst officials that led to the game being abandoned. Hartford Athletics says as a team, they did not feel comfortable finishing the match after the encounter with the Pittsburgh player. In a statement from Hartford Athletic, they said that unfortunately due to an on-field verbal exchange between a Pittsburgh and Hartford Athletic player, Hartford Athletic players and technical staff did not feel comfortable proceeding with the match this evening. The club has requested the league to conduct an investigation regarding the use of racially offensive language by a Pittsburgh player. In a statement of their own, The Riverhounds say they take the allegations very seriously, but stand by their team and deny that this happened. They said the Pittsburgh Riverhounds are aware of the Hartford Athletics' request for a USL investigation following tonight's match. Our organization takes any allegation of discriminatory or offensive language extremely seriously. At the same time, we stand by our players and firmly deny that such language was used. We will fully cooperate with the league's investigation into the matter. Hartford Athletic is calling on the United Soccer League to investigate the Pittsburgh team and the incident that occurred Saturday night. Both teams do have an opposing view as to what happened Saturday evening at the match, but they are both willing to cooperate with an investigation. We have reached out to the league. We have yet to hear back as to whether or not an investigation is going to be put into place. We'll bring that information to you when we have it. In Hartford, Joe Monty, Fox 61.
Well, 2 people are recovering tonight. They were hurt in a crash yesterday afternoon in Summers. Troopers say one driver tried to turn left into a driveway on Route 190 when another tried to pass on the left and ended up hitting them. The first driver went to Johnson Memorial with minor injuries. The second was airlifted with some serious injuries. Investigators are still working on the case.
A former Yonkers teacher will spend 25 years in prison for exploiting a 16-year-old student. Prosecutors say Sandy Carrazas-Pinez used her phone to send explicit texts and photos and to pressure the teen into sexual acts. Investigators say she abused her role as a teacher, a trusted teacher, taking the student off campus for encounters. Federal officials say this case shows abusive power will not be tolerated. And Fairfield police say they arrested a 68-year-old man accused of spreading hate through graffiti. Investigators say John Kuhn of Bridgeport admitted to defacing multiple spots in Fairfield with anti-Semitic symbols last month. Damages added up to about $3,000. Detectives say he was motivated by current events overseas. Kuhn faces hate crime and criminal mischief charges. His bond was set at $30,000. Police thank the community for reporting tips and video that helped solve the case.
Police arrested a 12-year-old from New Haven, and they believe the kid is connected to a string of purse thefts in Derby. Police say the child from New Haven's been charged with stealing a car, theft, driving without a license, and more. There were reports of people getting their purses stolen in the Big Y Plaza parking lot on New Haven Avenue. In some cases, they didn't even know it was happening because they were loading their cars.
A federal judge just gave the green light for Revolution Wind to restart construction. The court blocked the Trump administration's stop work order, calling it baseless. Attorney General William Tong says this is a major win for Connecticut families who need relief from high energy bills. Revolution Wind will power 350,000 homes across New England starting in 2026. The project supports more than 1,000 union jobs here in Connecticut and has been cleared at every federal and state level.
Storm season may feel quiet right now, but state officials warn that it can change in an instant, and everyone needs a plan. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules explains the simple steps that can help keep your family safe.
In the event that a hurricane or heavy rainfall happened right now, would you be prepared? Well, the Red Cross and the Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection say this is a very important question to ask yourself.
The skies are blue right now. The skies are clear at night, but the storm is coming.
The Red Cross Connecticut and Rhode Island CEO Richard Brannigan says although this hurricane season has been calm for Connecticut, it doesn't mean things can't quickly change. The Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection says historically Connecticut's busiest tropical storm season is from the end of August to the end of October. Brannigan says having an emergency plan for your household could save lives.
Grab a couple of extra things, put them in a bag, have copies of your sensitive documents, have extra medication available, know where it is.
The state is no stranger to deadly and destructive floods. After deadly floods in Oxford in August last year killed 2 people and damaged several roads and homes. Brenda Bergeron, the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, says it's important to understand flooding could affect anyone.
Most of the homes that were affected in the August flooding last year were not in a designated flood zone.
She recommends using the CT Alert app or the CT Prepares app to stay up to date with weather events. And with so many across the state being dependent on electricity, Bergeron says it's important to plan for what you will do in the event you lose power for an extended period of time.
Do you have something as simple as an old-time transistor radio with fresh batteries in it and a flashlight with fresh batteries in it so that you're able to see without light or to hear what's going on from a local radio station.
People we asked about their preparedness plans say keeping their kitchen fully stocked is a top priority.
Just have canned goods. It could be literally beans. It could just be something you can already eat, like canned fruits or something. Have some of that at home. Have some waters, because those never expire.
Brannigan recommends downloading the Red Cross Emergency app to learn more about how you can prepare yourself and your loved ones for potential storms. In Farmington, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Well, health officials say a mosquito trapped in West Hartford tested positive for West Nile virus, and they are urging you to protect yourself. Use repellent, wear long sleeves and pants, and stay inside from dusk to dawn if you can. Also, get rid of standing water around your home where mosquitoes breed. There's no vaccine or treatment for West Nile, but most people who get it never feel sick. Still, 1 in 5 develops a fever, and in rare cases, it can be serious.